Okay, we're almost live.
We are live.
All right, there we go. Let me just edit the thumbnail and description real quick, and then we'll get right into it. This one's gonna be fun. Okay. You ready?
Yes, ma'am. I mean, yes, sir.
All right. Do you want to do an intro or do you want me to?
You got it.
All right.
Oh, just a heads up. Just a heads up. I didn't have time. I mean, I know what's on this list, but I don't really know what's on this list. So we have a very similar taste.
Some of them are expected. I mean, we both know these movies very well.
All 10 of them, both of them.
Yeah.
We know this movie so well. I mean, I know these movies so well. I mean, you know what I mean.
All right.
I know it's been a while, guys. But we're back.
Been a while. But
a month or two. Yeah. Happy Merry Christmas.
2022
years.
So yeah, we're back with the 1980s horror live stream through the decades. Y'all know the drill. 10 movies, 2 honorable mentions. It's going to be a lot of fun because this is definitely one of our favorite decades, and probably, I'd say maybe the majority of horror fans. A lot of people love the 80s, so yeah, it's going to be fun. Is there anything that you would like to say about the 80s specifically? Like,
behind this, yeah, John Carpenter's really like where he took off. I mean, he was big in the 70s, but the 80s is where he just exploded after Halloween. Besides like the 70s and 30s and arguably 60s, this decade's up there. The introduction to one of the greatest films of all time, not just movies, greatest films. Some of these ones we grew up on. This decade's majority of what we grew up on. So a lot of it, you'll see where first we watched, introductions we watched. So yeah, this is a very important decade for us.
Oh yeah, and let's do a shirt. Night of the Living Dead. He's got Dawn of the Dead, big Romero fans. That didn't happen on purpose either. So
it just happened.
But yeah, I don't really have any 80s horror teas.
Nah, I don't either. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No.
We need to hop on that. But
I'm really picky. I'm really picky. This one's sick because like I know this looks plain on the top, but it's actually kind of sick because he comes off the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if I pull it up anymore, my belly's gonna show. We don't want that on camera. But yeah, like he comes off of it, so it's actually pretty sick. And then my Texas Chainsaw one I got, and then my George Romero one, but none of them really 80s.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of could have worn my George Romero one
shirt. That you got me a while ago. Was it you or Trevin?
It was me. He got you the Universal Monster.
Oh yeah,
but it was like it was 70s.
Yeah, I'm 78, but close enough, I guess. But we're gonna be talking about best of the decades in 1980s. 10 movies, 2 honorable mentions, the same thing. It's gonna be a lot of fun though, because again, like Hunter was saying, this is one of the best horror decades. It's one of our favorites and many others.
what we
So
grew up on, man. Like this decade,
yeah.
like not even just in general, like horror, just movies, because we were raised well,
Oh yeah.
and like I mean, this is the year of sequels. Quentin Tarantino, I mean, he said the '80s is the worst year in the worst decade in cinema. Um, I don't know if I feel the same. A lot of these, it's a lot of sequels and goofy, cheesy movies, but sometimes like those are what you want.
Exactly.
But the thing is, this spawned like a whole new like these subgenres and so like original ideas that like you forget all about it. So yeah,
So yeah, I think definitely one of the biggest faces of the 1980s horror is Ash Williams, Bruce Campbell.
I
Um,
have his Terror Tune. He got me for Christmas. It's over there somewhere. I don't have it on me, but
yeah, but so
so
let's
is he.
get in with our honorable mentions. Uh, First two we have Child's Play and Hellraiser. Um, if you know anything about horror, Chucky. Like,
Fun fact: Chucky was the first horror movie. I don't know if I've said it before. I feel like I have.
I
Chucky
think
was the first. Chucky was the first horror movie I ever saw. Just because I was scared at first of like everything. But I remember I was like, I want to get into horror movies. I don't want to be a little bitch. So um, I was like, what's the most like non-scary, semi-scary one I could watch? And it was Child's Play, and then that and Annabelle because they were both dolls, and I was like, well, sure. And then I went to Insidious, which is probably one of I think the scariest out of a lot of movies. But Child's Play, I mean, this movie is, it's goofy. It's family friendly for if you're younger for like horror. I won't say family friendly, but basically, this dog gets possessed, and goes and he gets it's basically a toy, a good guy toy, and a kid is it Alex or Andy? I always forget.
thing is Andy.
Alex Vincent, yeah, Alex Vincent plays him, which I've met that. But he gets him for Christmas or his birthday, and I think it's his birthday, and he gets the one by Charles Lee Ray, who he possessed, and he becomes a spirit, comes alive, and starts wreaking havoc.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
Excuse me. Child's Play from 1988 is definitely one of the a lot of like there's crazy huge Chucky fans, just like how there is with Myers.
like I know, I scary or I like scary. This is besides Halloween, this is like his favorite.
Yeah, he loves Chucky.
And I didn't know. I forgot it was made like late '80s. I mean, this is such an original idea. Um, but yeah, I love this one.
Oh yeah, me too. And then Hellraiser also Pinhead, um, based off of Clive Barker's book. Um, Clive Barker is pretty much like who's also known for like Nightbreed and some
Hold
other
up,
stuff.
hold up. Hey,
Yeah,
someone just died.
I saw it.
The dad from Full House just died.
That's my girlfriend, guys. Sorry. What?
I'm gonna have a mental breakdown.
What? All right, I'm doing this. I'll call you back. Damn. Love you.
Love you.
Damn. Starting out. I've already had a hard week, but this is just another
Dude,
part of my childhood.
Well, here, just announce it.
Bob Saget dead at 65. An '80s sitcom.
Yeah, literally. Wow.
Damn, guys. Damn. Bro.
That's crazy.
All right, back to Hellraiser. Damn.
So
That's crazy.
Yeah. Wow. Hellraiser. Yeah, people like Pinhead a lot too, and the Cenobites, the limit configuration box. You know, it's a really cool idea. I haven't seen Hellraiser until like recently, a couple months ago, I believe. But you know, it's a good one from 1987. It's a lot of fun. It does have a really cool atmosphere, and it is dark. I just wish they showed like the Cenobites more, because they're really cool.
Yeah, no, it's very solemn on showing anything.
Mm-hmm. And I think the sequels do more. I'm not sure though. Hellraiser is a franchise that I haven't really had the chance to dive into. But yeah, both of these movies are really solid from the 80s, and a ton of people love them. So yeah, do you just want to get into our first one on the list?
Sure. John Carpenter's The Thing, man.
The remake of The Thing from 1982. Like we were saying, John Carpenter, Kurt Russell's performance, it's so badass. Like,
Yeah,
definitely one of my favorite Kurt Russell performances.
Yeah, man, I was about to say one of my favorites, if not my favorite.
Oh yeah. We both actually recently got the
4K
Thing 4K, and
mine's over there.
I know you said you watched yours a little bit or something.
Yeah, I turned it on, and I know it's gonna sound bad, but I fell asleep. Not because the movie's like bad. I just was like, I was really worn out. But yeah, The Thing. I mean, John Carpenter's this movie is so fucking cool. Like once you see it, you're like, what? Like, there's so much aspects of this movie that are so like interesting, and the special effects work on it, which are probably some of the most horrific and detailed special effects in film history, especially for this decade.
Oh yeah, this is especially the special effects. Like that is, it may be the best part about this movie. Honestly, it's really gory, and like practical effects are, in my opinion, are always better than CG. So
yeah.
And they knocked it out of the park in this movie. And the atmosphere too, like it's like it sucks. It's cold all the time. Everybody's miserable, and like there's this alien thing going around. Nobody trusts each other, and it's a crazy movie. It's so good though. Definitely one of John Carpenter's best. Top five.
Yeah. Top 3 probably, in my opinion.
Yeah, top 3. Like I was gonna say top 2, but then I was like, there's some others I'm thinking about. But like, I don't know, it may be top 2.
It's up there.
But yeah, The Thing.
Poster Man approves.
Oh yeah, Poster Man approved.
Sick.
Oh, what about Child's Play in Hellraiser?
Child's Play was cool. It's different. Hellraiser was just kind of like there, you know, like here's what you like. Here's like the villain type of thing. Like
Right.
none of the other posters really did, except for back in like later or earlier decades.
Yeah. Yeah, this movie is great. If you haven't seen The Thing, really, we're probably going to be saying this a lot during this stream specifically. Like, if you haven't seen any of these movies, go watch it. Turn this off, or whenever you're listening to it, go watch this film. Yeah, this is a remake from The Thing from Another World, and you see in Halloween, Laurie Strode, or the kids that she's babysitting.
Yeah, they're watching the original.
Yeah, they're watching the original The Thing. So,
which I know I'm a Quentin Tarantino nerd, and he loves this movie. There's him in segment with Stephen Gobert, yeah, and they both love this movie because it's so terrific. And I'm pretty sure it was a novel or a book.
The story is based off of a novel by John W. Campbell, I believe, called Who Goes There. But so yeah, The Thing, 1982. Definitely give this one a watch. Next movie. This is one of my all-time favorites from the 80s. I absolutely love this movie.
We watched this one together for the first time like 3 or 4 years ago.
Oh yeah, an American.
It tells you the monster movie.
Yeah.
Slaughtering Lamb, man.
Yeah, this movie. I have a steelbook for this actually.
Because you gave me your Blu-ray.
Yeah, I love this steelbook.
This another one with practical effects, man.
Yeah, the 80s is all about crazy practical effects and the actors.
Well, it's the guy who directed Animal House, which you've done I'm pretty sure is a comedy.
Yeah.
And then it even says in the top left, director of Animal House, a different kind of animal.
Yeah.
Just go with a completely different route. But this movie is awesome. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, John Lane is the director. I think this is his best film. I do like this more than Animal House, honestly. The two characters in this movie are just they're fun to watch the entire time. They're like college students in London, like on abroad study or whatever, for a class or something. And some stuff happens. One of them turns into a werewolf. I'm not gonna say who, but the transformation in this movie, werewolf transformation, is
by far one of the best in cinema history.
Yeah, it's actually, you know what? I'm just gonna say it. I think it's the best werewolf transformation scene. And the Wolfman's is good. And don't get me wrong, we both love the monsters and that's our thing. But this is by far the best. The special effects in this are crazy. Is it Richard Baker? I think that's who did these special effects. But yeah, they're just on a complete other level. The Thing in American Werewolf in London, they're crazy. But this movie does have some kind of comedy in it. If you've seen it, there's even a werewolf Nazi scene. It's just what?
It has a little bit of love story too.
Yeah, there is a love story, somewhat, and yeah, I really
one of the movies that one of your main characters gets killed off early or decently earlier in the film.
Yeah, it's this movie is great. Again, go check this out if you haven't seen it. But if you're a horror fan and you really want to get into 80s horror, this movie right here, Creepshow from 1982. Also, I don't know if I said the year before, but it was 1981 for An American Werewolf in London. But Creepshow, that's a horror fan's dream. You have George Romero, Stephen King, you have Tom Savini doing the special effects. Even Leslie Nielsen's in it. So this movie is great. And we both have the Scream Factory release.
Yeah, I got 2 of them.
Yeah.
On accident. Well, I got one I purposely bought, and another one I got just came in. Don't know why. But yeah, I got 2. Well, I had 2 of them. I gave one to his brother. But this, it has some it's very quotable. Some of the best special effects Tom Savini has done. It's just it says, the most fun you'll ever have being scared.
And that's true.
It's iconic.
Yeah. Stephen King, he even acts in this movie, and it's so funny to think that this dude who has scared people for years, throughout his books and stuff, is acting like a complete idiot. He's like this farmer who's like lives out in the middle of nowhere in this
Gets a bunch of
meteor.
algae on him.
Yeah, and it's like this plant life that keeps growing and growing, and it gets all over him and stuff. Creepshow is an anthology film. There's four or five different stories throughout the movie. One of them's about a Father's Day, like where's my cake? Leslie Nielsen's a villain in one of them. There's like a werewolf in a crate. The Stephen King one and the roach one, the very end.
Yeah.
The roach one is really gross. If you don't like insects and stuff like that. But yeah. You got anything to say about Creepshow?
I think everything we said is enough. I mean, it's Creepshow. As a really important film anthology from the 80s. A series of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, what about the poster?
Oh, it's great.
Yeah. I've been thinking about getting this poster, actually. I don't know. But yeah, we got a couple people in the chat saying what's up. So it's up to them. Thank y'all for watching. Or whenever you do watch this, whenever. It means a lot. But with that being said, let's just go ahead and move on to Re-Animator.
This is a fun one.
1985. Yes. Very fun one.
If you don't have anxiety, Herbert West will give you anxiety like no other.
Dude.
Like, he is nuts in this. And it's probably one of the coolest posters like ever.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree with that. This poster pretty hard to beat. 1985, based on the H.P. Lovecraft story, Re-Animator by the same name. So this movie is it's fun. Like, it's pure 80s horror, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's goofy. It hits all the right parts.
Oh yeah.
Like it's so fun.
Mm-hmm. It is kind of weird because it is like H.P. Lovecraft stuff, but like it's done right. Like, this is one of the best H.P. Lovecraft movie adaptations, I would say. Yeah, I'd probably say that this is the best. Like, I know there are some other ones that other people have done. Like, well, actually, The Haunted Palace with Vincent Price and Lon Chaney Jr. that I have a lobby card of. That's actually a pretty good one too. But yeah, Herbert West, he is a scientist that finds out a way to reanimate the dead. And it's crazy. It's definitely
goofy. It's nuts. It's all over the place. That's why it's so good. Mm-hmm. The colors in it are just to make the movie. It's literally the 80s horror movie.
Yeah, it pretty much summed it up. Really good. But this next one is pretty 80s too. Return of the Living Dead from 1985.
Which is based in Louisville.
Yeah, this was filmed in Louisville, Kentucky, which is crazy because locals. But this movie is so fun. It's one of the best zombie movies. My top 3 is probably Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, and then this, Return of the Living Dead.
It's so fun.
To be clear, a lot of people have a misconception of this being related to the George Romero zombies because of the Living Dead part. This is completely different. It is not connected to the George Romero zombie verse. I don't know.
This is probably like the most iconic like zombie, the Tar zombie, in horror. Like when people see this movie, that's who they think of.
Yeah, because there's not really too many zombies that like stick out in your head, like a specific zombie. So I feel like this
And
one is definitely that. But what do you think about the poster?
posters like and captures like everything about it. One of the cool things, like it's goofy. The opening scene is just like goofy to me. If I remember it right, it's Crispin Glover, and like he goes to the place and they're like, "What is that?" And he's like, "No, don't open that." And it gets opened, and it's like some fucking
Oh shit.
chemical. Oh,
Well,
the Predator.
Return of the Living Dead, great movie. Go check it out. It's cool.
Yeah, go check it out.
One of the best zombies, 80s horror films. 1985, that was an accident. But
Yeah.
this movie right here
Is one of my favorite films of all time.
me too.
Fucking Predator.
And I'm a huge Arnold fan. So, well, now we're back to here.
Tarman's like, "Oh, I got you." All right, go back to Predator because we got our piece. Now this movie, and the fun thing about the poster is like sick, and that's like pure 80s. One of the cool things is like, the title is very like an innuendo, like who's the predator?
Oh yeah.
Is it the alien or is it Arnold?
Yeah. It's
like a pure man movie.
Yeah. I remember we were having a discussion one day and I was like, I think this is the manliest movie ever. Because if you think about it, just the one shot where they're just showing off
you son of a bitch.
Yeah. Yeah, this is one of my favorite Arnold movies, one of my favorite horror movies, one of my favorite movies in general. Predator is awesome. If you haven't seen Predator, what are you doing?
It's like pure, like it's masculine, like energy, like it's the woods, muscle, like greased up men, shooting people and going looking, and then as the alien scenes and doing the heat radar, very cool shots, and then like it sees Arnold go through this whole mental thing in a matter of like, I forgot, was it a whole day or was it like a week? I don't remember. But you see him go from like losing everybody to him being one of the only people left, and he has to sit there and face this alien by himself, and he has to outsmart him. It's really nuts. It's really awesome.
Oh, the ending is crazy. The part when he's just,
oh yeah,
it's pretty much just him left, and he's covered in mud, and he has like the torch, and he just screams like into the jungle, like ready to fight the predator one-on-one.
Yeah,
Yeah, I also just want to show off this really cool steelbook that I have that has the Predator, Predator 2, and Predators with Adrian Brody. And then they obviously did a couple of years ago called
they remake
Predator. I don't know if it's
with,
a remake or a sequel or what.
They had Keanu, not Keanu Reeves, Keegan Michael Peele or Keegan Michael.
Yeah.
They had a few other people in it, dude. I don't think I ever saw it.
Yeah, I have it, but I feel like it's not worth mentioning. But yeah, so it's pretty much about like this excuse me, this highly trained military team that's like top notch. They have a special mission to go into the jungle and rescue people. But they ended up coming across something else that is out of this world. The Predator is another awesome like horror villain.
Iconic. Yeah, him, like he's up there like Alien.
Exactly. And then later on we got Alien versus Predator, 2 of them.
What for? Money.
Exactly. Cash grabs. But We love it. um,
But yeah, y'all need to check this out. It's awesome.
yeah, Predator, great movie, 100%. Go check this out. 1987, Arnold fighting an alien. Pretty
In the
dope.
woods, in the forest.
In the forest, in the jungle.
It's fucking nuts.
But this movie,
This movie is a whole nother level of fucking film. Like, I don't know how to sum up this movie.
so
It really is a masterpiece.
this movie barely made this list because it's 1980. And usually when I think of The Shining, I'm just like, oh yeah, that's 70s. Like this is different from the rest of 80s horror. That's how I see it. But
Yeah, no, this is like not even near like 80. Like you wouldn't even like think of it being just because it's Stanley Kubrick and he takes you on this emotional roller coaster, someone turning insane. Jack Nicholson, Jack Torrance is fucking insane. Like one of the best characters in film. Like as I said, this is one of the best film movies. This is like my top 10 films like of all time.
Yeah, this a Stephen King book in which I think we said in one of the streams that he didn't really like it. This
he didn't. Yeah.
adaptation. He liked the TV made one better, which I've never seen, and I'm sorry, but I don't have to see that to know that this one's better.
Yeah, I mean, the shots in this, the cinematography is amazing. The story's great. The performances are just top notch. And there's not much to say about it, but it's amazing.
I mean, yeah,
it's kind of long. I will say it's long.
It can be a slow burn, but it's worth it. Actually, Cinemassacre, James Rolfe, I believe he said that Jack Nicholson's performance of Jack Torrance is the best, possibly the best horror movie performance, or just in general. And that is saying a lot,
Yeah.
But this is probably his best performance. Like,
he's nuts.
The Joker's great, but Jack Torrance is like, holy crap. I remember we watched it within the last
I
year.
usually try to watch it like every Halloween.
Yeah, that's probably what it was. And we ended up looking at all the behind the scenes stuff and finding out that Kubrick was like a bitch to work with, and like
He was
Shelley
the tyrant. He knew what he wanted.
Oh yeah, like he had a vision and nobody was messing with it, and Shelley Duvall had a rough time with him. I don't think she regrets making this movie though, but I don't think her experience on this film was the best. But she also does a great job too. If you've ever heard the saying like red rum, that's from this movie.
Here's Johnny.
Oh yeah, Here's Johnny. Excuse me, throat. Anyways, this movie is amazing. Kubrick's top 3. What do you think?
It's probably his best film.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, like, I think his top 3 is this, Full Metal Jacket, and maybe Clockwork. Or 2000.
He also has great, Barry, 2001 Space Odyssey, Barry Lyndon, Dr. Strangelove.
Yeah.
There's countless others.
And of course, just because I'm at a new place, not a new place, but different, I don't know. But I'm right next to my shelf where I can grab all this shit. And here's The Shining 4K that we both recently got.
Because I already have the Blu-ray, but I mean the cover is so fucking sick. It's like, why not?
Oh yeah, the detail in it, like There's Danny, the Overlook Hotel. Not even to mention the atmosphere in this film.
Yeah, no, I was saying the cinematography like creates a whole nother tone
I mean,
to this.
yeah, this movie is crazy good. Definitely one of the best. If you haven't seen The Shining, go watch The Shining. Just like with any other film on this list, but we're down to our final three already. So this next one, when you think about 80s horror, you have to think about Jason fucking Voorhees.
Well, we had to pick the best one, which arguably the final chapter, even though it's not the final chapter.
Yes.
Even though we have Jason New Blood, Friday 13th, Part 7. Yeah.
Oh, this fucking big ass box set, 12 movies, nowhere near the final chapter.
Final chapter plus like 8 movies.
Final chapter, maybe. But
Final chapter. Oh, we'll think about it. How much money we can make. But this is the cover of the NES game, isn't it?
yes, it is. The cover is actually part 7.
Oh,
But when you start up the game, it has the mask with the knife through it. So it's like, what are we doing here? But
I don't know.
is a shitty ass game, but it's classic. Yeah, I love Jason Voorhees. I recently got a mask from Pizzal, my favorite Friday the 13th, part 3. And you got one actually right above your shoulder.
Yeah, that's just a base one. I made a custom part for somewhere. Gotta go over there. But yeah, I really enjoyed part 4.
Yeah, it's the first time we see the character Tommy Jarvis. If this was the last Jason movie where people kind of saw him as like more human than zombie-ish.
Yeah.
Because in part 6, he gets revived and he's like decaying and stuff. But yeah, Friday 13th part 4 is definitely one of the best. Tom Savini came back after doing the original. He came back and did this one. What do you got to say about Tom Savini's work?
I mean, Tom Savini is a legend. He hasn't been in any shows to where I could meet him, but if there's one person, it'd probably be, to me, I have a lot of people, probably him. His work transcends. I mean, he made horror. He inspired so many people to do special effects and do things a certain way. Was it Dick Smith, like the original, like
I think
special
so.
effects? But yeah, he was inspired by him a lot. But yeah, his work is by far none of the best special effects.
And still is. He even has his own school of special effects.
Yeah.
And it looks like a haunted castle or something.
Yeah. It's sick. And he has like bust of like all the Universal monsters.
Oh yeah. I mean, shit, I would too. If I was like him, bro. But part 4, pretty much the death of like human Jason. One of the best Friday the 13th. Again, if you haven't seen it, from 1984. If you want the best way to watch Friday the 13th movies, to get that box set up here. I did an unboxing on that. It's like, it's perfect because there have been collections before and they'll only have like the first 8 Friday 13th movies, and you got to find the rest somewhere. So that one has all of them. Go check it out. Go check out part 4 of the final chapter. One of the best Jasons too. So moving on, one of your favorites, A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nightmare on Elm Street. This is my favorite or one of my favorites from the 80s. This movie was also another one like movies like horror. This one I got like hooked in horror was The Nightmare on Elm Street. My uncle showed me this in Freddy's Revenge back to back, and I showed my girlfriend not too long this, and she wasn't a fan, but like watching it again, you get to see all like the like I'm not saying low budget of it, but like how like awesome he was to work with everything he had. Like Robert Englund created this monster, made him terrifying to go to sleep, and created like Jaws did in the 70s.
Right.
It made people scared to go to sleep. You know, performances by Heather Langenkamp. Dude, it Johnny Depp's one of his first roles, as Glenn, who plays her opposite. The poster is just awesome. It really shows how fucking terrible of a person Freddy is, and terrifying. And these little kids, or not little kids, these teenagers are going through it, and she's going through it with her family, her mom and dad. Her dad's the cop, and her mom's just this fucking like alcoholic. Like the movie is just insane to me, and it's like really one of the most original ideas. One of my favorite Wes Craven movies.
Yeah, my favorite Wes Craven movie. Excuse me. You know, you're actually the person that really made me get into the Nightmare series, because I've always like loved Jason and Michael, and Freddy's always kind of been third for me. But you show me Dream Warriors Part 3 of A Nightmare on Elm Street, and dude, that's also pure 80s horror. That's Freddy Krueger.
That's fun. That's like one of the funnest of the Nightmare sequels for sure.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, you got to watch this.
Yeah. And we watched it together a long time ago, probably back in middle school or something.
And it had like one of the coolest kills. Like, I remember using him to puppeteer himself. They got really creative with how they wanted to kill people in that.
Yeah, that's the thing about this series too. The kills are really creative, because it's in a dream world and like anything can happen, versus like a knife or a machete, which they also have. You know what I'm talking about. They also have really creative kills, but like this, because it's in a dream world, you can take it however you want. Yeah, Robert Englund, y'all know Freddy Krueger. Everybody knows Freddy. Everybody knows Wes Craven. I don't know if you said, but what about the poster for The Shining and Friday 13th?
Well, The Shining is just kind of simple and to the point. Friday 13th is it's all right. I mean, it's to the point, you know what I'm saying? I love this poster. So
yes, this poster, the artwork for me, like versus like something that has just a black background and like people on it. For example, like Goodfellas, like this one looks way more eye
appealing, yeah. Like, ooh, what is this?
Than like
the thing.
You know what I mean, but
yeah.
That's just how we are. Like even look at that shit, Godzilla. But yeah, also from 1984. But I believe we have one more left of our 80s decades, and
The Evil Dead too. Another one I wanted to mention though before is The Fog.
Oh yeah, see, and that's the thing about the 80s. You can be like, oh, what about this one and that one? The Blob remake, the Fly remake. There is countless amazing movies from the 1980s. But in my opinion, this is one of my top 3 favorite horror movies ever. Bruce Campbell. And the reason why I didn't put First Evil Dead or whatever, or Army of Darkness, is because this one is like the most pure Evil Dead.
80s. Yeah, it like really encapsulates like the Evil Dead and the 80s. Like it's a very comedic, horrific, like comedic like breaks. Like it's so fun.
It is.
Bruce Campbell's great in it.
Yeah, his performance is great. We see him cut off his hand, and this is where he has the chainsaw and the shotgun, and like he's fucking badass in this.
It's nuts.
Yeah, Evil Dead 2. Like, what about this poster? I feel like this could have been so much better.
I mean, I like the poster,
I do too, but like,
but if you look at this, the original Evil Dead poster.
yeah,
But yeah, that one's awesome.
yeah, like Evil Dead poster is better, and Army of Darkness poster is better.
Army of Darkness is. Oh, I love it, and I love the movie too.
Yeah, that this whole franchise is good. Even the remake is good. But this is like Bruce Campbell's like this is his thing, you know.
Yeah.
Sam Raimi.
The original he made with a bunch of his buddies and went out and just made it at 22, was it? Which is mind-boggling to me.
Young. They were really young, had like no money. And it's one of the best like atmospheric horror films. And then this came out when they had more money, because this is like a half remake, half sequel of the first Evil Dead. So you really could honestly watch this one without seeing the original, and still love it.
Yeah.
I have a friend that I show him this to. Like, he doesn't really know much about horror, and he saw this and he loved it. So, and Bruce Campbell again, the Deadites.
Bruce Campbell is Evil Dead series.
Yeah, and then Ash versus Evil Dead, the TV show.
Yeah.
That's also really good. The Necronomicon, the Book of the Dead, like that's from H.P. Lovecraft, but it's used in here a lot, and it's what brings back the dead, pretty much. So
yeah, the 80s, man.
The 80s.
That was us growing up. That was our horror.
Yeah, pretty much. And also, I don't know if I said it or not, but from 1987, Evil Dead 2. Yeah, this decade, one of the best. You know, we love it. We watch it all the time, every Halloween, every October. Like, yeah, the 80s is definitely top 3 decades for me.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I don't know what to say for sure, but like it's up there. Like 70s is probably top, and I don't know, 30s would probably be second, and 60s and 80s are kind of just for me. But it's personally like guilty pleasure would be the 80s for me. A lot of guilty pleasure, not just horror films, but movies in general.
Oh yeah, dude, so many.
There's just so many cheesy, funny, like the 80s, and then action movies out the ass. Like some of my favorite action movies are from the 80s. Some of my favorite movies are from the 80s. So,
oh yeah, me too, dude. Fucking, my favorite animated film of all time is Transformers. I absolutely love that movie, and it's from the 80s. And like, there's so many that we didn't mention on here. Because,
yeah. You really do think like, damn, we could have said that, or damn, we could have said that. Like, there's so many. Like, I'm looking over at all the movies. I'm just like, oh, that would have been good. That would have been good. That could have made it. That could have made it. Kind of thing. Yeah, but
like, for example, I love Halloween 2.
Halloween 2, Halloween 3, Halloween 4.
And my favorite Friday the 13th isn't even on this list. It's part 3. That is my favorite Friday the 13th. But like, if you want to check one out, I guess check that one out. Or part 6. Part 6 is also really fucking good.
Yeah.
But so yeah, man, the 80s. Hope you enjoyed whenever you watch this. Thank you to everybody who joined in the chat. I like Scary just joined actually and said, "What's up, Horrorgang?"
Oh, what's up? We were just
What's
talking
up?
about you earlier, man.
Yeah, we were talking about
We were
your
talking about Child's
lifestyle
Play.
and stuff like that. Thanks for joining. But
And you just got engaged, right?
I
Not too long
think
ago.
I think I think he's having a kid. That's what he's
Kid.
having a son. That's what it is.
Congrats, man.
Yeah, congrats. It's awesome. And thank you for supporting and watching, hopefully get another live stream soon. You're busy. And listen, y'all, if y'all want a Halloween Kills mask, hit up I Like Scary. He does the best ones. Yeah, I'm trying to get him to do a 78 one for me if I can find one, but
Yeah.
I know it's hard. But
R.I.P. Bob Saget, man.
yeah, that's crazy. That happened out of nowhere. Yeah. So again, thank y'all for watching. Even if we got more people tuning in now than in before, so
Yeah.
shit.
the late nights are where it's at, man.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you to everybody who listened and joined or listened to this whenever you do. But that was the 80s. We'll do the 90s sometime whenever we can. I mean, that I think I've said on the channel before how I've said or how I feel about that decade. Alex Scary said, "Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Definitely keep up the great work, and I will definitely be on with you guys soon." Of course, man. Always a good time. But the 90s,
Yeah.
it's all right.
Yeah.
But
The 2000s kind of picks it up with a different little twist.
oh yeah. And then the 2010s is like, boom.
Yeah.
But so yeah, thank y'all for watching and listening for whenever you do. Means a lot. Go check out the other videos. We'll be back with the 90s soon and even another different live stream. But so yeah, thank y'all for watching. Stay scared.